Hello everybody, thanks for joining me for the studio vlog today. My name is Bria, and who knows what we're going to get up to today. If this outfit and hair looks familiar, that's because I literally just finished filming my market vlog, so this is what you get. I have some crocheting I want to get done. I also have some artwork I might want to try and do. We'll have to see about that. And there's some crafting that I did and might keep working on, depending on if I can show you or not, depending on if the stuff comes in time. But let's get into it. I thought I would try a higher angled camera, but you can see all the stuff on my floor. I cleaned my desk yesterday, but I didn't clean my floor, which is the real problem. I'll show you what that is eventually. I'm just waiting for something to come in the mail, hopefully. But for now, just pretend. Pretend. It's the whole floor. Just pretend it's not there. Anyway, it's Wednesday. No, it's not. Yesterday was Wednesday. It's Thursday. I've got an appointment in a few hours that I gotta go to, so I have to keep that in mind. Don't want to forget about that. But for now, I was thinking I would probably try and crochet something today, unlike yesterday, which I didn't crochet. But just fine, I had other stuff I needed to do. There was some like legal paperwork stuff I had to do last night. But I was thinking I was going to crochet a dragon. It's the Nyx the Dragon pattern by the Celestial Homebody. I'll link it. I was thinking of using this one for the main body. It's a Burnett Blanket twist. I don't know if they even still make these, but it's in the color mint, if you're interested. Yeah. And then this one, it was a yarn that I found at Fabricland, which is I think a Canadian fabric store. I don't think they still have it, but it's a green. Lighting looks kind of blue, but I promise you it's like a dark forest green. Yeah, but this will be the accent. Hopefully I end up liking how the twist looks. Have I ever used the skein? I don't know if I've ever used this color. We'll find out today how it looks. Wow, the camera. The light coming in from the window is making everything very blue. It's okay though. Either way, I'm gonna get crocheting before I start rambling about something random. By the way, if you're an amigurumi artist and you do not save your yarn labels, what are you doing? Because unless you're making gigantic projects each time, you're not going to use that whole thing. If you know for a fact that you're using the whole skein during that project, then I understand getting rid of it. But usually for amigurumi, you don't use that much. Personal opinion here, but you know. Well, it's not my favorite, but I think it'll work for this. I've been having such a hard time placing the eyes on this pattern. Like, I mean, the two that I've made so far have turned out fine, but I don't know. Granted, I've also been placing them in a different spot than the pattern says to. That was blurry literally the whole time, I'm sorry. But I got the body done. Woo! Why wasn't I talking during that part? Anyway, the spine piece is done. Now all I have to do is the wings. And by the way, I did modify the wings for this pattern and give them a little bit more shape. I'll show you. Well, I made one of the wings. I think for the second one, I'm gonna show you what I did to change it, just in case any of you are interested in making a similar dragon wing. It's got some scallops. Yeah, so you do round one as normal, but for round 2 and 3, you use half doubles instead of singles. Basically, you replace every single crochet with a half double crochet, and that's it. It just means that it's bigger by the end, and you don't have to do another row, which, saying that, take out the 4th row if you're doing this, because it'll be big enough after the 3rd one. Oh, no, come on. Too bad. Guess I gotta restart. Okay, I'm back to where I was. But also, in case need a little bit more clarification. The increases are also made with half doubles. Yeah, my computer is being noisy right now, so ignore that. But once you've done round 1 as normal, just the way it's written, and then round 2 and 3 with half doubles instead, this is when you're going to fold it in half and crochet it closed. But instead of just doing it normally, I do a repeating pattern of chain 1 and then double crochet, chain 1 again, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. So just chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, slip stitch. And you do that a total of 3 times, so you have like 3 scallops. And then for the rest of it, I just slip stitch it closed. Yeah. It's just so it has a bit more shaping to it, and so that I don't have to do a whole extra round. See? 3 scallops, and then you should have 3 slip stitches left to close it. And then everything else is the same. You snip it with the tail, sew on the wing, and you'll be done. I'll be back once I sew it on the wings, but that's all I change. It's just the wings, and it's pretty simple. Just for a visual representation, this is the original pattern. They're just circles that you closed and folded in half. I just wanted a bit more shape to mine. I mean, this is great. No offense to anyone. This works amazingly, but I just wanted some more shape, which I do often. Change patterns. So I'll be back once these are sewn on. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, a dragon. Yeah, I think with the darker accent, it kind of melds out the chaoticness of the main color a bit. I think it works. But that's my dragon. Oh, also, one other thing about the wings I forgot to mention. I do use a bigger hook size than what I used for the body. Like, for the body, I use a 5mm, and for the wings, I use a 5.5. I know, I'm kind of insane for using a 5mm with Bernette blanket. A lot of people would probably think that, but I really like my plushies having tight stitches, and I've been trying to intentionally loosen how tightly I grip on the yarn, if that sentence made any sense. I don't want to have a death grip on my yarn because it's been really bad for my wrists, and so I've been loosening how I hold the yarn and my hook. So I'm using a smaller hook so that I can still get the tight stitches I want. Hopefully that made sense. It is currently, if you can see that, like 11:40 almost, before I go have lunch, which I probably should do. I think I'm going to print this off so I can get it ready for cutting on the Cricut. Because I mentioned this in the market video, I think. But these guys almost sold out. So I need more. Plus, it's almost time to print something again. Because if you didn't know, at least according to the Canon, I think it is my printer. Yeah. At least according to the Canon website, you need to print something at least once a week with your inkjet printer to prevent any weird clogging of your print heads. So just in case, I try and do that as much as possible. Also, I'm sorry about the super crooked screen, and yeah, my desk is a chaotic mess sometimes. Also, yes, there is a plug halfway up the wall. Why they did that, who knows? But I'm also cutting off like this side, so you can't see all the wires back there. Also, yes, I know there are plants blocking the bottom of the screen, but you know what? It's fine. I don't look down there anyway. So I'm gonna get this printing. That's all I was trying to say. Hooray! It's printing. Also, yes, every area in my room is chaotic in some way, shape, or form. Don't look at the yarn scrap basket up on the windowsill. It's fine. I really should move that. Also, there's wires. I promise they don't interfere with the printer. They're just for the mun bin up there. It's fine. Also, my printer is being noisy. It's also incredibly slow, which I'm okay with. I don't mass print stuff. So this printer works great for everything in life. For me, personally. It's good. I love this printer. I'm just gonna leave it here. We'll wait for the print to print. This is real time, by the way. As I said, it's not the fastest printer, but it works great for what I need to do. I'll probably speed this up a bit. Hooray! I'm gonna cut the laminate, let the print dry for a few minutes. I'll probably go have lunch, and then I'll probably cut it on the Cricut. laminate is cut out, is being flattened, because I buy mine on the roll. So it comes curled, and so I'm flattening it right now. I don't know if it actually makes a difference. Who knows? But I think it's lunchtime. It's a few hours later. I went to my appointment. This is probably ready to go. I love when things are crooked. It's my favorite. By the way, this I'm using, it's a pizza dough roller. I use it just to flatten out sticker stuff. I also need to grab my other tool, which would be this guy. It's a vinyl flattener thing. What's it called? It's got like felt along this edge. I don't know. Now for the tricky part, which is to peel off a little bit of the edge so I can stick it down first before taking off the whole laminate backing. This is what I meant. Hopefully that's correct. No! I put it too low down. This little part with the text on top. It's not laminated. Those are gonna have to go in B grade. I'll still cut them though. Ah, I knew I should have put it a bit higher up. Oh well. I've done this so many times, you think I would know what I'm doing by now. But no. You know what it probably was? It's probably just messing up because I'm filming. Oh no. So I've noticed sometimes with the cutting, the stickers can like bunch a little bit, so I just like to roll them out again so that they're nice and stuck to each other. This is what I meant earlier. You can see that there's no laminate on this top lettering here because there's a shine. Yeah, there you go. So that just means it's a B grade because the stickers are still perfectly usable. It's just not perfect. And then of course, because I cut all the rounded corners with the Cricut as well, I always end up getting all these little stars in between each sticker sheet. So I have to peel those off as well. I could just round them by hand, but I don't know. I already have it set up on here, so I might as well. While the stickers were cutting, I started on a Reggi the Frog, and I found a factory knot, so I had to cut the yarn. I know, tragic. I believe I last filmed on Thursday. But today is Monday. Yeah, I was kind of busy. I had things to do. You know how it goes. But I did get a bunch of stuff crocheted. I'm just going to move them all over to one side of my desk. Okay, ready for the crochet showcase of the weekend and Friday? First off, this guy. This is Reggi. It probably looks white in the camera, but I promise his belly is like a pale yellow. It's got eyes that are silver because I ran out of green ones. This one's a remake from my last market because he's old. This time though, I put weighted pellets in him, but he's definitely heavier, especially compared to my next make, which is another Reggi. I made him brown this time. I gave him bright blue eyes because I thought it contrasted nicely. Same yarn. They're both the, what's it called? It's the new Big Twist yarn that's at Michael's right now. Fluff, maybe? Yeah. Get back here, Reggi. Yeah. This one I didn't put any weighted pellets in, so it's much lighter. Next, I noticed at my last market that I am in desperate need of making some more minis, even though I'm underpricing them by a lot. And let me actually talk about this for a second. I'm worried that if I just jump the price up, someone's gonna be upset with me. Someone's gonna notice and be like, why are they so much more expensive now? I don't even know if people would remember what I priced them at before, but maybe they would be. Maybe they would remember and be like, what? These were cheaper before. So that's what I'm worried about right now. I think I'm gonna bump up their prices a bit by bit as I go. Each market, like, it'll bump it up a bit more. That's what I'm thinking of right now. I don't know. But let me actually show you the minis. How does one show you all these? Wow, it's like, ooh, blowing out everything. This is my mini chick pattern. Well, it's a mini bird pattern. It comes with a whole bunch of different color variants, but this one's just the plain classic standard chick. Usually I make it with the Burnett Baby Blanket and Buttercup, but this time I wanted to make it in the new Michael's Grande Ombre, Loops and Threads Grande Ombre, just because it's one of those yarns that really slowly variegates. Not variegates, but like ombres, I guess. Like, okay, I have a different one right here. This is the purple one. But you can see as it gets to the center, it gets lighter, if you can tell. So I thought that would keep things interesting while I was crocheting these. It didn't make a huge difference, but interestingly enough, some of these guys kind of have flecks in them. Like, you can see some spots. Like, this spot right here is whiter, up here and here and here, which that made it fun because it still looks like a baby chick, just not solid yellow. It has a bit more variation to it. Also, I want to show you the first versus the last one I made, just to show you actually, yes, it did make a difference over time. Here's the first one I made, and here's the last one I made. You can kind of tell that, yes, this one is darker and this one is lighter, especially like here, their heads. Seriously, this lighting, I need to do something about it. 1 second. Did that help at all? I don't know. But let me actually show you all the ones I made. I made 6. Yes, 6. So 6 of my mini yellow chicks. I don't know if I showed you this. I made 6 mallards a while ago. Not a while ago, but like sometime earlier, a few days, a week ago. Ideally, I would have 6 of each style of mini. We'll see if that ends up happening. But I'm on track right now because I made another set of minis, also 6 of them. These are my mini bees that I made. This one, I'll link the pattern for it. I might link the pattern bundle because you can buy the mini bee pattern individually, or you can also buy a set of 3. It comes with the bee, an octo, and a whale, I believe. Maybe. But I got to test these guys when the pattern first released a while ago. Yeah. They're just small little simple bees. I do like a specific color change method on the bottom. It looks a little bit messy still, but I think it's better than just color changing and not trying to do a color change method. That makes it more even. Like, especially this one. It's really not that bad. Anyway, I made 6 of the bees as well. Those are all the minis of the week. Next up are the dragons I made. Yes, I've made more dragons. I have like 6 now at this point as well. I'm just having fun making them. I don't know. First up is this guy. I think I mentioned this already in this video. This is Nyx the Dragon by the Celestial Homebody. For the main body color, I think it's discontinued now, but it's the Burnett Baby Blanket in the color Adobe. There was like a line of these colors where they very quickly variegate, and they have like white little speckles in them too. It's not the frosting. It's a different one, but I love this, yeah, yarn line, if I can talk. And then I paired it with like a dark maroon color. The next one I made, first I have to explain something. So the way that you work the spine of the dragon is surface crochet, and there's another pattern that I surface crochet something along the back, which is the axolotl pattern. Axolotl pattern I make. So I made an axolotl dragon, but you can see I gave it the gills on the side of its head. Gills? And I continued the back spine all the way around the edge of the tail and back down. So it looks like an axolotl tail. Obviously, I still give it... Not obviously. I keep saying obviously. I've noticed this while editing. Stop. I gave it wings as well. So the axolotl gills, I stole the technique that I used from the other axolotl pattern I always use. I will link that one as well, even if I'm not going to show it in this video because I haven't made one yet. But I might as well give you the axolotl pattern that I stole the technique from because I want to credit people. And then the last thing I made over the last 3 days is another dragon. Woo! I wanted this one to be like kind of a galaxy themed dragon. So I used this really pretty color. This one's technically from Walmart. One of the Walmart mainstays, chenille, even though it's blanket. But it's the exact same colors as a Burnett blanket yarn that I have. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. Yeah. I want to make more, well, at least one more dragon. Because, let me tell you something. This requires a bit of backstory. I've been making a spreadsheet recently of how long it takes me to make certain items. I only started this like a few days ago, so I only have the minis on there. But I timed the dragon last night. It took me more than double the time that the original creator said it takes her. Because I was making the dragon last night. I timed it last night. I'm like, this feels a little bit long. And then she came out with a video today where she's showing off a bunch of her dragons. And she said that it takes her less than half an hour to make one. And for me, it took over an hour. What? So I'm wondering if it's because I've been trying to write notes in the dragon pattern for where and how to adjust the bobble stitches on the head to make them line up and the feet on the bottom. But it keeps changing each time I make a dragon to where I should put them. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to notate that and what the most common modification for me is. Usually it's just adding or removing a single crochet. I still like to take note of it because then I don't have to frog it and redo it and frog it and redo it just to make it line up. But I have a feeling that's why it took me so long last night when I timed it, because I was frogging it and redoing it a couple of times in a few spots. Yeah. So I want to time the dragons again. That's what I'm getting at. Because I've taken more proper notes this time. Since last time in the dragon, I've adjusted my notes. Hopefully they're more complete now. But I've already chosen my colors. This one's also a Burnett baby blanket in the color Lavender Fields. It's part of the same color line that the Adobe was. As you can see, it variegates really quickly and it has white speckles in it too. They're part of the same color family. Line of yarn. Anyway. And I'm going to be pairing it. I think I'm going to be pairing it with this one. This one's a Burnett Blanket Brights in the color Pow Purple. I'm not 100% sure I'm pairing it with this one yet. Just because this one's a tad bright. As an overall vibe, it kind of matches. Like, it matches vibe-wise. But it's not quite there. At the same time, though, I don't have any other purples that match quite enough. You're joking. The water pump just turned on. Come on, I'm almost done. Anyway, so I think I'm going to do these two paired. I'm going to get started on that, though. We'll see if I film it. It depends on how long the water pump runs. Hello, it is Tuesday, April 21st. I have some stuff to do today. I've already been working on a few things. It's almost noon. Filming is hard to remember to do sometimes. Okay, so yesterday, I'm trying to remember what I actually filmed yesterday, but I think I told you about the dragon pattern and the fact that it took me an hour 10 minutes to finish when I was timing it. Well, I decided to time it again, and I made this one. This one's purple. I think I did show you my colors, maybe? Anyway, this one only took me like 53 minutes. That's still nowhere close to under half an hour. I don't understand. But I don't know. No idea. Yesterday, for the rest of the day after I made the dragon, me and my sister were watching a movie. So she's been reading for the first time the original Hunger Games trilogy. And I read them a while ago, but I haven't read the prequels. So I'm currently working on the first prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. She's also working on the same book right now. But we're also watching the original Hunger Games trilogy movies. We finished part one of the last one. Well, part one of the third book. Hopefully that made sense. There's one more movie we have left, basically. And then once we finish the prequel book, we'll watch that movie. And then we can wait for the next prequel book, movie. I'm getting confused. The one that's about Haymitch's game. If you know anything about Hunger Games, you know that's very exciting, and we're very excited for the movie. But enough about that. what do I have to do today? Well, I wanted to print some stickers. I actually designed some while I was watching the movie yesterday. I'll put the time lapse here, but I wanted to print those and then cut them out. So I was just editing the file, making sure that all the cut lines were good and that it was all arranged properly. I was just about to print it, and then I realized I probably should film. So let me actually talk about the sticker sheet I designed. It's inspired by Stardew Valley, one of my all-time favorite video games. It's specifically the fall forageables and the mushrooms. So I know it's spring right now in real life, so fall's kind of far away, but I was inspired. I figured I would draw it. I have a few other ideas I want to do. I want to do some of the flowers as well, and maybe the spring forageables. We'll have to see. But that's how it's going right now. What else do I have to do today? I have some editing to do. I want to see if I can crochet, and there's some like file stuff that I want to find and rework maybe, just for some other art print stuff. I know I'm being very vague about that right now, but that's how it is. But I'm gonna go print the stuff. So I'll see you in a bit. This didn't used to happen to me, where it would peel off the front backing. I wonder if it's the laminate that I've been using. And I didn't mess up the laminate placement this time, which is good, because last time I filmed this, I messed up the top row. Oh yeah, I need to do this. Here's how the sticker sheets turned out. I was worried about the coloring of the background. It's not too bad. I might saturate this orange a bit more, but I do like it. While I was cutting those stickers, well, I wasn't cutting them. While I was waiting for the stickers to be cut, I started on a new project. It's by Crafted for Comfort. I'll link it, but it's a creature, a pocket creature. I don't want to say the actual name of it right now. I'll show you when it's done, though. Hopefully. I remember to do that. But I literally just finished round 2. Not even. Yes. I'm working on round 3. So I'm not very far into it. But it is officially noon. I need to go eat something. So I'm going to take a break. Today is Thursday. I didn't film yesterday because I felt and looked like an absolute gremlin. And I still kind of feel like that. So I'm not filming my face right now. But I wanted to show you what I've been working on and what I got done since last filming. Also, ignore back there. It's an absolute chaotic mess, but that's just the reality of crafting. First up is this little guy. I think I mentioned that I started making this little friend last time. It's a pocket critter. Purple blob, popular game. I'm running out of space in the bin under my desk. I have 2 bins. One for stuff I still need to take photos of and stuff that I have taken photos of that need to be tagged. Next, I made one of my chef rats. This one I finished completely with the hat and tail and everything because I wanted to time how long it took to make one of these guys. And then I made 2 more. Just the bases though. No tail, no hat. Just, to get some stuff done. And then I found this guy. I didn't make him yesterday. I just found him in my work in project. Not project. I found him in my work in progress bin and figured out how to add him to the stack. For these ones I was making yesterday, I used this. It's another one of the Grande Ombres for Michaels. I think it's in the color Windsurfer, if I'm remembering that correctly. Actually, I have the label right here. Yes, Windsurfer. I also decided to make a bigger project. This took a little while. It's a Monstera plant, Jellycat inspired. But you can see all the different leaves and the stem in the center and a branching out stem over here. But the leaves are really cool. Each one, except for the solid green ones, are different patterns. Well, different shapes of leaves. Same pattern. We can see they have like holes in them. I chose this variegated green yarn because I thought it looked like a variegated Monstera, which I thought worked for the Monstera. I do wish it was a bit less white, which is why I added the solid green leaves. I do like the color combo though. The terracotta pot and the dark brown and the green and the variegated green. Gonna have to figure out what to price this guy though, because he took a little while. The last thing I fully finished is one of my favorite things to crochet and draw. It's one of my plant rats. The body of this one I used one of the new Mama Made Minis Premier Basic Chenille yarns. I think it's called Cedar, if I'm remembering correctly. I thought I would like it more than I do. It looks a little bit too burnt orange to me and not enough brown. But I used this ivy sort of pattern for it, for the tail. Hopefully it's focusing. I'll try and find the pattern for this. It was a free one from Yarnspirations that I downloaded a long time ago. And then I used some of this yarn. I think I got it from Dollar Tree a very, very long time ago. I haven't seen it since, and believe me, if I did, I would have picked up more of it. But unfortunately, this is all I have left, so I use it very sparingly. I embroidered some moss with it, though. Yeah. I love making these little guys. Because, like, I get to crochet plants, I get to crochet amigurumi, I get to use 2 different yarn weights, and just kind of freehand stuff sometimes, and it's really fun. I did also start another body base. This is going to be another plant rat, but I left it, did I make it today or yesterday? I don't remember. I was trying to decide what plant tail I should use, and I decided on this one. I'll link it obviously. Yeah, it's just the cover page, so I'm not actually showing you any of the proper pattern, but it's a clover plant, which I thought was cool. It has 3-leaf clover type things, and I'm just using the vine pieces and modifying it so that the length between leaves is better for what I'm doing. But that's what this is on my desk. Yeah. So far, this is the first time I've used this creator's pattern. It's pretty well organized into different sections, because sometimes these plant patterns can be just jumbled up into one paragraph, and it makes it very hard to distinguish where you are. So, and this one's divided into each individual section, even going down to each individual leaf instruction, which is very nice. I appreciate that. But I love using this green variegated yarn. Do I have the label? Oh yeah, I do. Okay, it's right here. It's not the softest yarn, because obviously it's Red Heart Super Saver, but it's the color green tones, and it's one of my favorite green variegated yarns I've found, color-wise. One of my other favorites I only recently found, I think it was overstock from Joann's when Michael's first, obtained a bunch of their yarn. I only saw this color once, and I grabbed all four of them, I think it was at the time. Basically all the ones that they had in the store. I grabbed them all because I've never seen this color, and I haven't seen it since. I think it's technically up on the website, but it says it's not available in store, or at least my store. Either way, this one is the Big Twist Value in the color Lime Jelly. But I also really love the variegation in this one too. It's much brighter and more saturated, as you can tell. I love using both of them for different reasons though. I'm really glad I picked all this up when I saw it, because I haven't seen it since. And because I crochet so many plants and other green stuff, and I love green, I'm always looking for a good green variegated yarn, which is harder to find than you would think. Especially when it comes to the yarns that I use, which are weight 4 or weight 3. Usually it's an acrylic that I use, but if I can find something in some other, material, I will definitely try it out. If it's cotton acrylic mix or just cotton, I will usually try it out. If it's wool though, maybe not so much, but it depends on what it is. I do need to keep working on this though. It's already 2:40 p.m. I'm not staying up past midnight anymore. At least I'm trying not to. But that is it for now. I'm gonna go work on this some more. I'll do my best not to bump the tripod, but it's right beside my leg. So if anything moves, I'm sorry. Today is Friday. You might be able to see that in the top corner. I've officially run out of my snack. It's empty, unfortunately, which is very sad because I love these things. I also finished my Clover plant tail rat. Yeah, I think this one turned out really cute. I like the balance of placement with the clovers. I can't seem to get it right now, but it has a really nice layout. It's very pretty. That's all I'm trying to say. Those little friends are gonna keep me company while I'm drawing. Let me rotate this so you can actually see what's happening. Oh, wait. Okay, well, the window's there, so that's great. So it's gonna be crooked. We're dealing with it. So a while ago, I drew this sticker sheet. It's inspired by the Stardew Valley flowers in the game. It didn't look exactly like this, but anything inside the white borders is what I drew a while ago. You can see the line art is definitely a lot thinner than what I do now. This is current line art thickness. This is before. I don't know, I've just been enjoying thicker line art recently. Also, some of the angles and shaping I wanted to update. Also, the colors, they're much more desaturated than they are now when I redid them, just because it's kind of, it looks better printed from what I found, and it's more attention grabbing, I guess you could say. Also, I didn't mention this before. Don't mind this section. These are my references. I have the wiki pulled up with all the different flowers from the game. I didn't draw all the flowers, but it's a good look at the pixel art from the game, Stardew Valley. I do also have like real life images of the actual flowers if they exist. Some of these don't actually exist in real life. For example, I don't think there's a blue jazz or summer spangle in real life. I could be wrong about that. Or fairy rose. I'm trying to remember from like a year ago when I did research on this first time around. But this is what the new one looks like. It's not quite done. There's still some fiddling I want to do with the line art. Like, for example, colored line art is something I'm doing a lot more now. So I'm trying to decide what areas to color and what areas not to color. As you can tell, for this flower section, it's much more pink line art than the leaves. But like for this one, I only colored the inner line art areas. All the outer areas are still dark. So I'm trying to decide which areas to color and which areas not to color. I'm going to fiddle around with that a bit more and decide. I also need to play with the shading a bit more, just because something I used to do as an earlier artist was just take one color of shading, something purpley, desaturated, you know, and set it on a multiply layer and set it to a lower opacity and just draw over everything with that exact same color for everything. And I realized recently that I don't need to necessarily stick to the same color for every base color that I'm shading. Like, for example, yellows look much better if I don't shade them with purple, because if I'm remembering correctly, they're complementary colors. Yes, purple is complementary to yellow, which means it actually desaturates each other. So it ends up looking really dull. Instead, I use orange or pinkish orange something. It looks way better. Unfortunately, I can't show you because I drew it on the permanent layer. Not permanent layer, but I recolored the actual layer and not just a clipping mask over top of it. If you don't draw digitally, I'm sorry, you're not going to understand much of this, but I can't really show you what it looked like before. But I'm going to actually get to drawing some stuff. I think I need to move the camera though, because I'm not going to be able to draw from the angle that it's at. This is the hardest part of trying to film anything for me, is trying to find a good camera angle that the tripod can work with and not wiggle around. But first, it's snowing outside, even though it's April 24th. And last week it was very much not snowing. It was quite warm actually last week, which is silly, but it's okay. Ew, that looks like brown, and I don't want brown. Maybe I'll bump it a bit to red. Is it too pink now? I'm trying to work on my color picking abilities, because I may have mentioned this before, but I'm notorious for choosing way too desaturated colors. It's a problem I have. Does that look dumb? Does it look better or worse? I literally can't tell. Problems. You know what I might do? I might make another layer and cut all of this. Like anything exterior. What the? Well, clearly I'm not doing that right. I'm just gonna undo. Sorry, I think I'm out of focus that whole time. Okay. Gotta love when you forget what you're doing while you're filming. No, wrong tool. No, wrong tool. Come on. Interesting. Honestly, looking at it again, it's not too bad. Also, I'm just realizing that there's a really bad reflection on the screen right now. Whenever my hand is here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna move the camera again. Whoa. That looks like neon in the camera. It's like very bright orange. In person, I promise it's a bit more desaturated. It's slightly more brownish. I'm doing my best. I'm not used to filming me drawing. So we'll see how this goes. Whoa, what is happening there? The sweet peas, I remember from when I first drew this, were probably the hardest to interpret because obviously, if you look at that reference photo of the original pixel art, let me zoom in a bit more. It's like purple with some random yellow blobs. So interpreting that is kind of tricky. So I was looking at a lot of photos of real life sweet peas to try and figure out what on earth was happening with that. And this is what I came up with. Is that out of focus again? I'm sorry. That's probably why I was showing up so neon, because it was out of focus. It's great. It's wonderful. My favorite. My computer just turned on. 1 second. Okay. I do actually quite like the colored line art. Looking at it again. But does it make it too contrasting in those areas? That's the real wonder. In case you're wondering what I'm doing right now, like technically, or from a technical standpoint, if you know anything about digital art. So what I'm doing, this arrow here is clipping to this layer, which is my line art layer. And so basically anything I draw in these two layers here will only show up anywhere that there is pixels on the line art layer, which I've been demonstrating. I've been drawing on this layer, and it's only showing up where my line art was. For me, I mostly just use it as like a recoloring tool, like temporary recoloring tool, or a partial color tool. I don't know. It's tricky. Tricky. So I've been testing what the colored line art would look like with the Junimos, and I don't think I like it for the Junimos. It looks kind of silly the way it is. If I did all of it that color, maybe it would work. No, I think it just looks dumb. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. I don't know. I might need to sit on this for a little bit and come back to it later again. So that's probably what I'll do. It's getting darker outside, so the lighting might be kind of rough. And of course, as soon as I go to film, the water pump turns on. Just ignore it, please. I think the Stardew flowers sticker sheet is as finished as I can get it with for the illustration side of things. I changed like one tiny thing, but it's barely noticeable. So here, let me show you again. Everything's reflecting, but there it is. Obviously flipped because I'm filming with the forward-facing camera. Yeah. But I was thinking of crocheting today something. It's gonna be another plant rat. And I wanted to do another ivy plant rat, but using a different pattern this time. It's another pattern by the same designer that did the clover that I just made. And the ivy leaves are constructed a bit differently than the other one I did from Yarnspirations. So I wanted to test it out. I'm thinking for the rat body, using this one. See, it's a burnout baby blanket in the color, what was it? It might be Driftwood Dreams. I don't know that for a fact though, so don't quote me. And then for the feet, do I ever tell you the feet color that I usually use? Normally, like 80% of the time when I'm making a rat, I use this color for the feet, which is burnout blanket in pink dust, I believe it's called. Yes, it is pink dust. I don't always use that color. And then sometimes for the darker fur colored rats, I use a darker pink. It depends what I'm doing. Like for example, this is the one that is made in pink dust. Ears and feet. And this is a different one that has darker fur that I decided to use a different color on. I think for this one I just used like a scrap of some darker mauve-ish color. I honestly don't remember which one it was. And then for the tail, I think I'm going to use the Big Twist value in Lime Jelly, because I felt like if I used the same color that I've been using for the other ones, it's just a bit too desaturated to go with the gray. And I like having something stand out on the project, so having the brighter Lime Jelly green will hopefully help with that. I'm gonna start working on that though. Finish the rat. Well, the body at least. Now onto the tail. So I haven't filmed in over a week, but I didn't want to leave you hanging. I wanted to show you the plant rat I made. Here's the tail. So this one's also an ivy one. I think I mentioned this before. This one was an ivy one I did before using a free Yarnspirations pattern, but you can see the leaf shape is kind of more basic. than the one I did recently. This one has more shaping to it, but it's also bigger. Here they are side by side. If he'll stop focusing on my face for once. Wow, so cool. I also decided to add little sprout pieces. I just freehanded these. There's the other sprout. Just 2 sprouts. And then 3 ivy leaves. Yeah. But hopefully that's all the loose ends wrapped up. But I need to start filming my next video. So I think that's gonna have to be it for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.